We are back again on application moment, and if you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, I want you to click on subscribe and remember to click on the bell there so that you can get the notification for all our videos that are uploaded to you. We have very informative videos for you. Today, I have wonderful people with me here. We are going to discuss what I've been teaching. They are going to share their opinion about it, how they are practically applying that to their lives, and we'll throw more light on other things that I believe is going to benefit you. My name is Pastor Emmanuel Abuaje. And then, please, if you have a friend, a family member, share this video with them, and they are going to be blessed. Let it be a gift unto them. So, you are all welcome.
Thank you.
I want you to introduce yourself, who you are, and then what you are doing, and so people will understand your background and how this is blessing you. Okay, so who will start for us? Is it Roberta?
So, my name is Josephine, and I'm offering sociology in KNUST.
I'm Esther, offering human resource in KNUST.
My name is Priscilla and I'm studying sociology at University.
I'm Roberta, and I'm also studying sociology in KNUST.
So it's amazing. You are already studying something that is more in our lives, and you study about social life, how people interact, human behavior, and all that. And the parable that I'm treating is I've entitled the 4 groups of people, and Jesus was given a parable about a seed sower who was very ambitious and throwing the seeds, and he made mention that one fell on a good soil, the other fell among thorns, some fell on the rocky ground, and some fell along the roadside. I have categorized them into 4 groups of people, and I think that it's emphatically true about wherever you go, you get these people, especially when you're throwing out an idea, or there's a vision you want to plan, or there's something God is telling you. We find these 4 groups of people, and I mentioned that the one at the wayside, the reason that seed or the idea or the mandate the other was given, or the instruction, he or she couldn't bear the fruit, is because he or she did not understand. And we've spoken about that. Now I'm talking about the rocky ground, and he didn't have roots. So I've mentioned that we've spoken about some things like he had a shallow soil, and then it was not enough for the roots to gain grounds or to go deeper to glean from whatever it is to bear fruit. And I made mention that because of the rocks, it could not accumulate enough soil. And we said that you could be in an environment that does not allow you to accumulate enough to be able to succeed. And I remember when I was going to school in abroad, I used to tell people that, look, people will call me, give me senders money. I said, I'm a student too. You know, there are certain environments that do not allow you practically in your life, does not allow you to be able to save enough, does not allow you to get enough. People are it's like vampires, yeah, taking everything from you. There are certain society, if you live and you don't get enough information, so many things happen that does not make people bear fruit. And so we spoke about that. And I believe that you got your own revelations from it. Yes. So what do you think? Yeah.
And so I perfectly remember you spoke about how the environment can be a hindrance to someone succeeding or understanding the word that is given. And my part is very true. Especially, I tapped into the part you spoke about where we come from, comparing it to those outside and how they could come out from the level up with the working class, the white color and the blue color. You made an example like that. And then the white colors, they work and they get maybe $1,000 an hour, maybe kind of, it's an example. And then the one in the blue color working and getting something like $60, but can pick up like 4 works and catch up with. But in our environment, we don't get it that way. So you have to prepare so that whatever opportunity comes your way, you can grasp it and work accordingly. Yeah, so I got something like that.
It's very true, because in every society, the structure or the way it has been positioned or structured can determine how successful you become. Because in Ghana, that is why adaptation is very important. In every society, you have to understand the nature of the environment, and so you position yourself well to succeed. In Ghana, if you want to really be successful in Ghana, there are so many things that are against you. The system doesn't work and all that. The kind of effort you have to put in is different from somebody living in America. In America, have the different system, their economic distribution, like how people make money. You know, it's different from ours. Look at the 10 Ghana cedis per day. It's ridiculous. And imagine your children have to go to school and all that. You barely survive. That's why a lot of corruption is in the system. So for you to really do well, you have to prepare in a different way from a way somebody in America will prepare. So the mistake we do is that we watch a movie and then we just translate that into our system. But meanwhile, that will not work within the same system we live in. So we look at the same thing, the same seed can be thrown in America. America will do successful with that seed. Ghana, it won't because of our various systems. Yeah.
So talking about preparing for an opportunity, basically, so many people don't do that in our environment, especially in Ghana. So many people are very lazy.
Yeah.
They don't want to put in the work. They want fast money, quick money. But that's not how it works. Like, you need to literally put in some effort. You need to be working. You need to be planting and watering before God will give you the increase. So I believe that preparation is very, very key when it comes to grabbing opportunity. Because when you're not prepared enough and the opportunity comes in, you will not be able to grab it because you're not prepared. So definitely move to somebody else who is much more prepared as compared to you.
Yes.
So that's my
And to add to the opportunity doesn't inform you it's coming. It might come anytime.
Exactly.
You wouldn't know when and where it will come. So I think every blessed moment, the little opportunity you have, you need to be acquiring a skill, doing something, and that will prepare you enough for any opportunity.
It's very true. You see, any environment you are in, you have to be very strategic. You have to be very strategic because Ghana's situation is a bit different. You know, that's why I tell people that for Ghana, if you want to really succeed, schooling is really an integral part of the success criteria. Because if you really were going to depend on working as a blue-collar job worker, you are going to have issues. But if you are a knowledge worker, you are positioned better. At least, I'm not saying the jobs are readily available, but at least when the opportunity comes, you will be able to do it. If you go to another country, it poses a different opportunities and threats. So as a Christian, your goal is to be preparing. You know, there's a scripture in the Bible that said the children of Issachar knew their time and they knew what to do. The children of Issachar. And the Bible said that knowledge, wisdom, and understanding shall be the stability of our time. So for you to be stable, you have to be conscious of the thing. And you have to also be a person that is preparing himself or herself within certain environment to be successful. You see, because many people say, okay, I'm going abroad. I'm going to live there and I'm going to prepare. If you go to abroad and you are still not a person who can really prosper when an idea or a seed is thrown on you, it's the same thing. You can't also, then Ghana will be worse. So you have to have the conscience and be ready to prepare all the time. And so you have to first of all identify the thematic areas within the society you are in and say, okay, this is what I need to do to be successful in this time. That's what the children of Issachar did. They knew their times and they prepared themselves for it. And they became very successful. But many people are oblivious about it. They are not being conscious of the kind of society we live in and the things, the threat that is posing against us and what we should do so we become very successful. Yeah.
Pastor, please, you made mention of knowledge workers and
Manual,
Can you differentiate?
Yeah, so there are manual workers and there are knowledge workers. There are people who use their physical strength. The Bible is clear about it. Proverbs 24. He says that the one with wisdom is mightier than the one with physical strength. And he said knowledge increases your strength. So if you are a manual worker, you use less of your thinking. You don't strategize. You don't conceptualize. You don't create vision. You don't create strategy. But you do a lot of physical work. They instruct you, go and do that. Then though most of those people are the blue-collar job workers. But there are also knowledge workers like lawyers, teachers, doctors. They feed where they make their money is on their knowledge. So if you want to be a knowledge worker, you have to empower your knowledge. And that's how you enhance your competence. And then you become more successful. And these are days, computers are coming and all of that. So if you don't have strength like me, I don't have a lot of muscles, I don't gym, I don't do those things. So of course I have to be a knowledge worker. So you have to go to school. Apart from going to school, you have to be a reader. That is how you prepare. For somebody who is a manual worker, he prepares by making sure that he has enough strength, to be able to be carrying the stuff. And when it comes to the two groups of people, you can give the same instruction, but they would achieve it in different ways. For instance, if I tell a manual worker to carry about 1,000 blocks, the manual worker will pick it one by one with his strength. But maybe a knowledge worker will say this: why don't I design a machine that if I press a button, it goes? But this world is ruled by knowledge workers. It's not ruled by manual workers. In every organizational structure, the manual workers are at the bottom. They are supervised. They are instructed. But knowledge workers are able to create. They are creative. They are innovative. They strategize. They bring strategy out. They create a vision. And so that is how we prepare. But if you have decided, that is why in these days, women are positioned better to succeed. Because we are no more using, it's not survival of the fittest, where we are using physical strength. By this time, Roberta is carrying so many things going to the farm. But now it's not like that. We can all sit in a class, read books and all that. But you see, if you are a knowledge worker, you are not reading, you are not better than the manual worker. Because at the end of the day, they will let you be carrying things because we will test your knowledge. If we test and you can't do anything, then for mercy's sake and some clemencies, we will say, okay, go and sit and be carrying some things for us. Yes, so.
You made mention of knowledge, and I'd like to add that knowledge is power. We keep hearing that knowledge is power, but so many people don't understand the fact. I believe that people don't get the fact that knowledge is power.
Yeah.
Because from my perspective, I believe that when you study a thing, when you keep studying and you practice what you study, that is where the power comes in.
Yeah.
I don't know the exact scripture, but I want to talk about the story of David.
Okay.
When David was decided to go and fight Goliath, if that's for lack of a better word, if he didn't know the kind of God he was serving, he wouldn't have had that power to go and stand in front of Goliath to say, I want to use a stone because he believes that his God can even use an air, like just air, to kill. So that is the knowledge that became power, and that manifested in the life of Goliath when it came to he winning the battle against the Philistines. So basically, I believe that it is very, very important that we focus and study whatever field that you want to go into. We need to learn so that we can have that manifesting in our lives, basically.
Okay, so about the knowledge you were talking about, there's a scripture in Proverbs 24 verse 5. He says, a wise man is strong, and a man of knowledge strengthens his power. A man of knowledge strengthens his power. You see, the strength, the word strength there means several things. It means means. It means method. It means options. And indeed, there's even one that means chameleon. Adaptation. Now, what it means is that how does knowledge become power? Knowledge actually increases your power. It's an attitude. You need to have an attitude towards knowledge. When we are all moving, there will be a time there will be obstacle. There will be a time, Peter's principle, you do management, and all that. So Peter's principles, everybody is promoted to his level of competence. So all of us have a limit. How do you overcome your limitations? It's through knowledge. Because knowledge provides you with means of solving problems, provides you with methods. Because a time will come in your life where you don't have money. But what will let you escape the poverty is knowledge. Knowledge will say, oh, there is something here you can do. There is something here you can do. It gives you option. That is what the scripture is saying, that the man of knowledge increases his power. The one who has less knowledge is rude. Because if I understand, if for instance now we have ants bothering us and somebody have knowledge about them, how to control them, the person will survive better. So now many years ago, for you to survive in this world, you need to have physical strength. It was a men's world. You know, you need to be strong, or else you'll be bullied, or else you'll be poor, you know. But now, for you to survive, the survival of the fitness is not in the physical strength, it is in your mind. And Africans, unfortunately, we have a negative attitude towards knowledge. We don't read. And if we are in school and we are reading, we have an attitude of, I want to just get my certificate. I don't want to internalize it. You know, knowledge, you have to internalize it. And you have to be interested in what you are looking for. So, I need to be rich. So how do I become rich? But for us, they will say, okay, you need to be rich. Go and do 21 days fasting. Go here, go and do that. And fasting and prayers are not wrong. In fact, they are what empowers us. The reason even you have to read is because you are a Christian, you pray and you fast. So there's an extra energy that is available for you to use. So you need the knowledge to use it. So that's why knowledge is power. But you see, Einstein said something, he said imagination is more powerful than knowledge, that vision. In fact, you can't even visualize your future if you don't have knowledge. So knowledge is an essential component of every preparation that you have. I see that Robert has a lot of apportu. Roberta?
Well, it's a question.
Okay.
Based on what you said about the knowledge workers and those who manually do work, I wanted to ask, in terms of efficiency and effectiveness, are you saying we are all meant to be knowledge workers? Because with the explanation you gave, it looks like you being a knowledge worker is more effective and profitable. So can we all be knowledge workers?
No, it's choice. It's like saying, can we all be rich people? No, it's the reason why all of us can be rich people is because of life choices. You know, some people rely, and like what the scripture I read, the Proverbs 24, he's saying that other version said, verse 5, version said, a man of wisdom is better than a man of physical strength. And he said that knowledge increases their strength. So it's very important that we understand that everything that you are doing, even using your physical strength, you need some level of knowledge. Now, knowledge workers are people who are able to conceptualize. They are able to design problems. Solve problems and design solution, because it dwells in your mind. And then the manual workers follow the instruction. Let me give you a very practical example. Architect. An architect is a knowledge worker that has designed a plan for a building. Then there are those who are coming to lift the blocks. But those who are lifting the blocks are supposed to be instructed. Do this, do that, do that. We still need people who do physical work. It doesn't mean that some people must necessarily go there, because we can create robots that could do that. Now we are moving to artificial intelligence, automation. Yeah. So if your strength or your forte is in manual work, then you are in big trouble. You see, yeah.
But then not everyone will be knowledge workers.
No,
certainly. They are uneducated people. Like there are people who are not really educated. Yes. So what happens to those people?
Yeah, that's why there is a blue collar job criteria there.
But even that, it's never too late to be a knowledge person. No matter how old you are, looking at the times we are in, even in our country, they are trying to make education very cheap and accessible to all. So I don't think there's even a barrier to being educated at any point in time when you make your mind.
But then let's take someone who is 55 years.
So that's why Pastor said it's a choice.
But
I think with what she's saying, we can all be knowledgeable, but the difference would be in how effective it will be. But we can all acquire knowledge, but not everyone will be ready to practice it or make it work.
And the level of which, nobody becomes successful without not acting on the knowledge. There should be there should be an intelligence to your action. And so an intelligence is not like I'm there and naturally I'm kind of intelligent. No, intelligence means putting information together. It's an act part of anything. That's why we say the person is intelligent. In class, when we give exams to students, we ask a particular question, which requires that you have to put together a lot of information to bring the answer. Then we see those who are intelligent. Then they will see, then I have to bring the concept in here and bring this concept in here. So if your information box or your span of information is small, it reduces your intelligence.
So that means you need to be open-minded.
Yes, you need to, and you need to read more. You need to read more. That's why I said that the attitude towards knowledge is our problem in Africa. We have a very wrong attitude towards knowledge. Knowledge is a search. You see that Proverbs 25 verse 2, it says, the glory of God to conceal a matter, but it's a honor of kings to find it out. So you need to have the mentality of searching. You need to have the lab mentality that I'm always looking for. How do I solve this? And you see, when students study like that, they become more intelligent. Because when a student is interested, and the lecturer said this, I'm interested to know more. The moment you have that kind of mindset, you see that it changes your attitude and you begin to look for the information. But there are some people, when you tell them that, they ignore, like the one at the roadside. He said when he received the word, immediately the devil came for it because he did not understand. He didn't even have interest. So it's an attitude to us. But however, if you are even 60, I know people who are 70 years that they are still pursuing their masters and all that. And people, once you are alive, your brain is not your body. Your body can get weaker, but your brain, Harvard Business School, London Business School did a research about age. They said even as you are growing, even there, you need to do more difficult courses because it keeps your mind active. Africa, it is not only manual, it's a general issues. Even people in school are not reading. Apart from their notes, they are not reading. So when you test them, you see that their root is shallow. Yeah.
Okay, so Esther was trying to say something concerning the age range where maybe the person is not educated, so that means that he or she cannot read. Yeah. And therefore the knowledge-based acquisition will be a bit difficult for the other person. So I was looking at it from this perspective that imagine I'm uneducated, I cannot read, I cannot write, but I have the interest to know, because like Pastor says, having the interest to know is very, very important, because it's like a seed that has been planted into you. You have the interest, so you need to find out more. How do you find out more? You ask those who know. Yeah. Do you get it? So that is it. So if you cannot read, you cannot write. People have read, people can write. Ask them and then get your knowledge for what you have to do. So that's my perspective.
Yeah, but this world is very important. You have the skill and the tools. One of the things that make you stabilize your life, skill is important, tool is important. Being able to read is a tool. Okay. Because if I can't read, then if there's something in a book I need to know, I can never know it. So even if you've never been to school, it is a necessity for you to learn how to read. Then it becomes your tool. Okay. You see. So that's the starting point. So you have to get someone to teach you how to read and write. It positions you better. It's because it's an information world. We have come to the era of information and communication. You can't survive without information. You need information to act. So reading has become very essential. In fact, I can tell you categorically that the Western world and Africa, the difference, what keeps creating the gap is knowledge. So once you are able to fix that, it prepares you better for opportunities. And it increases your self-worth, and so it is difficult to work with people. You see, the less educated you are, the more rebellion. Yes.
Very true.
Yeah. Better as also. Or what do you think? You become more rebellious, but the more educated you are, it is easier to communicate because you become more rational. We'll be able to talk in a more rational way, and then we could have yes.
I was thinking, you spoke about conflicts today. You made a statement like resolving conflict is better than dissolving relationship.
Yeah.
And I think in our quest to know, we sometimes have to learn from people. So that makes a very important that makes it very important in the sense that if I have you as a friend and then I feel there's something wrong, like something comes up between us, that is an opportunity to know what you like and what you do not like. That's an opportunity to learn something new. That's an opportunity to acquire something. So in that sense, I noted that down. I liked it when you said it's better to resolve the conflict. And then you went on to say that the possibility of knowing what is wrong, how wrong you are, will determine the possibility
will
of
help you to know how possible.
Yeah, I would want you to talk more about that.
Yeah, so life is with a lot of conflict because even if you live with Jesus Christ, you have issues. The disciples had issues. Jesus would say, "Oh, they say go and tell Jesus, oh, Jesus, why don't you let these people go?" He said, "Feed them." And then they go and have their caucus meeting. Look at him. He said we should feed them, and we don't have anything. Then they will come back and they say, "Go and tell him this one there. You will go and tell him that we only have 2 fishes and 5 loaves of bread." He goes and say, "Okay, bring it." So they had a lot of issues with him. He said, "I'm going to die." They said, Peter said, "Shut up! You can't say like that. What are you going to die for?" He called Jesus at the side. He said, "Why are you saying that? Why are you saying that you want to die?" The Bible said Peter rebuked Jesus. You see, so even if you walk with Jesus, you would have issues because the personality different. The easiest route out of conflict is dissolving the relationship. Okay, then I won't talk to you again. But you have to be determined to resolve it. You have to be determined because it takes time to really have a friend and build a friendship too. Friendship is like we call it social capital. It's a kind of capital. You know, we have financial capital, we have manufacturing capital, we have human resource capital, we have all those kind. We have social capital. So friendship falls within the category of social capital. And it will take, let's say, you are friends, and then you become friends from level 100 to 400. Something come at 400, then you dissolve your friendship. Then something you have spent your energy, investment on, because when somebody becomes your friend, you will invest whether you like it or not. When somebody today you decide that I'm going to be your friend, definitely I'm going to invest one way or the other. So it's not a good idea to say that you are dissolving. You have to resolve it. And you see, in resolving conflict, you look at how there's the possibility of you being wrong. Be open-minded. So there's a possibility that you are wrong. That's why the person is not seeing eye to eye with you. Maybe there's a possibility you are wrong. When you see that you are wrong, it helps you to also know how you are right. And it helps you to, and you see, whenever you are having a conflict and you are resolving it, it's like negotiating. 2 of you or 3 of you or 4 of you, among you or between you, you have interests and position. So let me give you an example. Like you see 2 children fighting over orange. And then you go and say, okay, let's split it to 50-50. You have reduced the value. But maybe perhaps the other person doesn't want the orange, the water, the juice. He just wants maybe the husk or the what do you call it? Whatever is in the fiber, whatever is in the... and the other one want the juice. So you can't possibly say, I'm dividing 50-50. When you do that, you have reduced the value. But you should rather look for their interest. And so you see that your friend's interest is this. And this is my interest. So how do I give the person's interest and also get my interest? But some people are so selfish. They want everything on their terms. So there's no win-win situation, and there can never be, the conflict can never be resolved But if you learn to negotiate, it works in every business. When you go and sit in a negotiating table and you are thinking of a win-win situation, okay, this is what I can give. Oh, me, I can't give this. And all this, it's like maybe a friend in a room with a friend. The friend doesn't have money, but you have money. But the friend can sweep. Okay, so that's a contribution. Okay, so why don't I bring the money? It's the same thing like marriage. So this was okay. This is my strength. This is your weakness, but I can compliment you. You know, like men and women. You know, I always say that those who say feminist activists, sometimes some of them, it's good, but sometimes they do it in the wrong way. They reduce the value. In the process of doing that, they reduce the value of women. Because a woman is not supposed to be paid as compared to men. Because men have their strength and women are value creators. They add more value. If I give a phone to a woman, you put flowers and something. You know, so do you have flowers on your phone? Sir? The colors you see, look at how nice it is. Mine, look at mine. It's already spoiled. It's not nice. If you leave only women in this world, we would have a very beautiful world but a small world. If you leave men alone in this world, we'll have a very big world but chaotic. A man will have something here. When he sees it, he will jump over it. And all the roommates will not have problem. They will all jump over it like that. Women won't allow that. So why do we want to pay them the same? We should pay a woman for the value she creates. So it's the same thing that happens in every society. People have different way they are adding value and opportunities they are seeing. So when you are resolving conflict, you need to look at a lot of stuff. And then that will help you to resolve the conflict.
Okay, so I'm not disputing the fact.
Yeah.
But I would want to ask, is every relationship worth resolving than dissolving it?
Okay, so two things. The fact that you resolve a relationship doesn't mean you are staying. I know where you're coming from. The fact that I resolve a relationship doesn't mean I'm in the relationship. Mm-hmm. So let's say in a courtship or something. Is that what you want to say? Okay, so if I can see maybe my ideologies, my values are different. The person is worth going alone than me going with the person. We have resolved it. We have agreed that, look, this is what I want. This is what the person wants. I remember when before I married, long before I married, when I was in the university, I was dating someone. When I finished university, I am a more entrepreneurship. From level 200, I've never thought of working for people. I go like, I want to do my own business. So right from university, after my service, I went straight away doing my business. But this lady said, no, me, I want a man that look for a job. It is more safer for me. She was not wrong. But I said, no, I'm not married. I don't have kids. Why don't I start now? Because I'm sleeping in my parents' room. I don't have any budget. So why don't I rather do it now? Because the risk is low. And she thought differently. And the counselor told me that, look, I spoke to someone and said, look, she's not wrong. You just have to agree. She's not wrong. Let her go on the way. Let you go on the way. So there are points in time you look at your values, your prepositions, and you see you are entirely different from the point of view you are coming. So you don't have to create a quarrel. You just have to agree. There's an interest. There's a position. So you agree nicely, and then you can part company. You can still be calling each other, because there can be a middle ground where you meet. But you don't see yourself together in the future. Yes. In business, I've had people I've worked with, we didn't agree, we didn't see eye to eye on certain issues. We felt we can't do the business together, but we are not enemies. If I need something, I know that's the person who has it. I can call the person and have it. But if I dissolve it and I create a confusion, I can't go back to the person to say, I want this from the person. Are you getting what I'm saying? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You also spoke about success needing a solid foundation.
Yes. So whatever success is something that is worth it when it's more stable. One of success, that's it. You need to be determined that I will do something that in the long term it can survive. People want a quick fix formulas that I will do this quickly and then I get some quick. No. But you have to make decisions And then it's the TDJ something. They said that we don't have to make permanent decision on temporary issues. You know, you want to build your life on a one-off success. It will break, it will crash down, and all that. Okay, so you can ask more. You can contribute more.
Yeah. Simple-minded people.
Yeah.
Conceptualize-minded people. I need more clarity on that, because you spoke about simple-minded people being those who take things for, let's say for granted, for lack of a better word. They take things too easy and cheap. They think everything is just on a silver, normal stuff. And then the conceptualized part, that's where I need more clarity.
Yeah, because I didn't stress, unfortunately. So Jesus' story about Matthew 7 said, those that hear the word and practice it are like those who are building their house on a rock. And that is someone who is a more complex. When you say conceptualize skill, it's people who solve complex problems. Because so many things come together to make life. It's not, we are not amoeba. Amoeba have a unicellular kind of life. There's more complex. Life is more complex. It's not that simple. So the one who built his house on the sand thought that if I'm building, I should just erect it. But this ground is okay.
Not factoring on that.
Yes, not thinking about so many things. People can just jump into business and think, oh, the business work. And so they think all I have to do is to get a product. But that is not how it works. You are going to look at people process, you are going to look at operation, branding, and all that. And then when they go in, it doesn't work, they say, oh, the business doesn't work.
So in short, or in a nutshell, you have to analyze what.
Yes.
Seek for an analysis before embarking on anything you do.
No, you need to, partly. So you need to have attitude. This attitude that, okay, this thing that I am going to do, I'm going to take my time and do it well. It's not simple. It's not simple. That's I tell people, for instance, dating and marriage, they are like east and west. They are not close. Because dating is more simple. All I need to have is money for KFC, be able to call and say I love you, you love me, we hug, we give texts, and then we go. We talk about our books, we talk about this. But when you go into marriage, you see it's more complex. You are facing an emotional issue, you are facing intellectual issues, and all that. It's more complex. That is why there's more cancer. Bible said that to wage a war, you need cancer. And to win, you need advice. Why is it say cancer? Because it's not simple. The way we see life, that's not how life is. It's because of the lens the person has. So, but the one who built it on the rock is the same structure they erected, both. But the foundations were different. Because the other one who built on the rock envisioned, he knew that definitely there will be a storm. Yeah. Some people think, okay, going to the university is easy, but it is not.
Yeah. I think that's the perception they give us when we are out, because we all feel lied to when we got inside. It's not what we heard. It's not what we heard. You have all the time for yourself. You can do what you want to do. But trust me,
life.
You can sleep, but when it comes to the time,
Yes. And once you have the attitude that no, life is not that simple. For that reason, I have to invest more energy, time, talent, resources into it. Like starting a church, it's not easy. I know someone who told his general overseer, I will show you in 6 months how a church is built, when he was rebelling. If it's today that he said, I'll get 1,000 members in 6 months. And then up to date, he's not even have 50 members. So people see, somebody said to the pastor, he was an assistant pastor, and then he said, oh, why is it the pastor doesn't let me preach? This preaching is easy. But why they pay, even the way they pay, the preaching is easy, so why? And the pastor heard it, when they, information circulates. And he got to the pastor said, okay, I'm going to give him time to preach. So he gave the gentleman, told him, you have 45 minutes to preach. The guy went to prepare, he came. He preached and preached and preached. And when he checked the time, it was 5 minutes. He said, he has finished his note and it's 5 minutes. And he repeated the sermon again. When he finished another 5 minutes, he didn't know what to do. Then he realized that preaching is not easy. For me, one thing I've learned about preaching is that I have to learn and store. That's one. If you want to really be a good teacher, you can't use your notes to articulate well. You need to store information every day. That's why it's called intelligence. You have to store information for years. So the sermons you preach now are going to come from information you have stored for the past 5 years. That is why you see people who write notes, the same sermon. I can give the same slide to someone, but the person can't preach it. Because when I'm preaching, I'm drawing from a source. How deep my root is will determine how it is. So it's never simple. It's not easy to say, I'm going to do a business. You give up. Because the people who will promise you that they will buy the product, they are not going to buy. Now you are going to have to find a way to convince them to get it. So you see things like that. That is why it is not, people have simple mind. And listen, so people are exploiting that. People are exploiting that simple-mindedness. That's why there are lotteries and all that. They feel like, this is an easy route, 2 sure numbers. And give you 2 sure. And then they will send you a message. There's this 2 sure number. And then you quickly go and stick the lotto. Then you don't win. And you go like, I didn't win. You do it several times. And even when you win, you are going to lose all of them. The reason is that you need a solid foundation to sustain the money. Like when you finish school and you are working and you have a good job you are doing, every month, if you spend your money, you know that you are going to be paid again, isn't it? If you have, I don't know what you use. Let's say if you have a drum of water and you have a pipe and you are using the water in the drum, why do you feel safe? You have already a pipe, a flowing tap. So there's water that flows and you have already stored some in the drum. If you use the one in a drum, what happens? You can still refill it because there's a source. But if there is no source, then it's dangerous. The day you finish it, you are finished. So that is the attitude you need to have. That anything I'm building, I should have a source. I tell people that if you are going to marry, make sure both parties are working. If both parties are working, if they are not working, find a job for each other. And then in that case, anytime any money you spend in the family, you have a source that will replenish it. Either than that, you would. So that's why it's not easy to.
Okay. So I want to take foundation in the line of business. Okay. So there was a circumstance where somebody wanted to start a business, and with business, if you ventured a business before, you know that it's not an easy thing to do at all. Yeah, she can testify because she's been up to a lot of businesses lately. So for instance, if you want to go into any product at all that you want to do, and that you have to do samples of the product to see the outcome, to see whether you like the outcome of your product before you go ahead to market and even launch it and market it for other people. Now you realize that even with one sample, sometimes you don't always get it right. You get it. I'm talking about foundation here. You don't always get it right. So as you keep trying and trying and trying again, sometimes you have to pay for instance, if you want to sew something, you need to pay. If you try this tailor or this seamstress and it doesn't work for you, you have to change it to another person. You keep changing, so you get what it is. So in the long run, you are planting the seed of excellence as a foundation for your business. Do you get it? So basically, I want to say that each and everybody at all who wants to do business, you need to have a solid foundation. And it's not just about the capital whatsoever, because you can even start with one sample or two. You get my point? But then how excellent it is looking, the end results, like the product outcome, is the most important aspect of foundation. So yeah, that's what I want to say.
So Proverbs 23, what you are saying is very, very true. In fact, that's why it's an attitude. You need to have certain attitude towards life. Like, so when you start a business, the business, you think that you know, but the business is now going to teach you
Yes.
about what it is. You know, it's going to teach you a lot of things. You see, and there are a lot of aspects of business that you are also going to learn. So if you see anybody who is successful in business, they are not simple-minded people. They are very intelligent. And when you speak to them, you see that they know what they are talking about. Now, so Bible is saying that wisdom is the principal thing. But in all you're getting, get understanding. And the reason, so wisdom here, it's got to do with skill, education, and all that. Being able to do something. So I have a skill. Maybe I can do tables. It's one. But Bible is saying go further and gain understanding. Because it's the understanding that will help you to duplicate it consistently. You need to come to a state, and it is through experience and studies. So if you ignore that part of the business and you rush, that is why when you start a business, you don't have to do it big, or else your errors will be very big. If you scale your business at the first instance, your errors will be scalable. They will be something obvious for everybody to see. So when we start church, I was not too enthused that we come on Facebook and all that, because we will start promoting our errors. Then our choir was not good. And you know, your ushers are now putting themselves together and all those kind of things. Now, when you go and market the organization, you market the ushers, their errors. You market the singers, their errors. You are going to market the media, their errors. But now they are getting better. So as they are getting better, you see, okay, now I can measure some level of, is it okay for me to market now? So you do it in levels. So the problem with many is that we are in a rush. We start a business today, and we want in this month, I'll make 10,000. It's a lie. The wait before you convince Roberta to buy. Is it not true? You share, you have experience. Share some of it.
Oh yes, it's true, because in the beginning of the semester, I think okay, that's last semester, I wanted to start selling some Victoria's Secret products. And then the promise is, oh yes, you need to bring them, we'll buy them, and then we're actually shipping them. So we're like, okay, it's positive, so they can ship. And when they got to Ghana, the amount they brought to me, I was even like, oh, with my promises, I have a lot of promises, so they should give me more. And then my sister was like, let's start with a few. And trust me, you go to the people who were saying that, yes, we want it. You notice that, no, it's deceiving. So you now have to target your people. That's how come I was talking about analysis. Because everything you are bringing on board, or whatever business you are doing, it should have a target market. Yeah. Because I saw it as, I have friends, they all use perfumes. I have most female friends, so they will like it, but not everyone. It was after I noticed some of them were asthmatic. So how do you sell something like that to them? So that was a first mistake. So the next time, selling something. So today we moved on to the next step. We are selling fruit juice. So you test the market. Yeah, today we noticed maybe people like beetroot a lot. So next time, it's gradual. That's what I believe in. It's gradual. And then probably when you're selling something, like there's some things you sell that people don't need them every day. They need them occasionally. You can change the face of your business. I believe that's why people have company limited. They have a lot of things they do, but it is under one brand. When the season changes, the season for this comes, you can actually bring the things that is needed in that season. Yes. So that's what we say about adaptation.
So translating that into our everyday Christian life, you see, when you walk with God, God teaches you two things: what works and what does not work. And so if you write exams and you fail, it is not the end. Don't compare yourself to others. No, God is teaching you something. He's teaching you that, look, these methods you use, they don't work. And so you have added it as part of your knowledge. That's why in management, we have what we call knowledge management. We know sometimes your parents, you'll be doing something, they will say, don't do this, don't do this. And they say, if you do this is what happened. And then you say, no, I'm very serious. I can see that. They have done it before, it didn't work. So they are predicted. And as if they are prophesying. You go and try it and you see that. That is why, because they have learned things that didn't work. It's part of our experience. I've started church at places abroad, it didn't work. And I knew why. I knew I was lazy. I didn't have time for it. And so when I'm starting another thing, I now know that these are the things that does not make the church work. If you go and you see back, so what you see in Proverbs are people's experiences, what they've gone through. You say, little slumber, little sleep, poverty will come to you like a bandit. It is true. If you sleep too much, you see that there will be a gun on your head, poverty. You say that you are under arrest. You are poor. You are poor now. So that's how it works. So when you are in business and you are doing a lot of things, have an open mind. One day I came to the house and my room is full of water. I forgot to close my tap in my kitchen, in the sink. And unfortunately, I've used an intensive to block the passage. So you see, when it was flowing to, the whole room was full. So I placed my bag down, went for a bucket, and then I enjoyed it. I was playing some music and I was counting how many buckets. So when I finished, I was like, okay, I wasn't there thinking, God, why me? Why didn't you show me in the dream? Why didn't you show me? Let me get a word of prophecy from Josephine. That okay, I'm going to do this and all that. No, that's not how God. That's how so many things are hidden. And even in the Christian life, one of the key word or central word for Christianity is seek. Just seek him while he's near. You can never come to church and you can predict the entire service. If you come with that mentality, you wouldn't get much from God. Because God can speak to you, maybe through an usher who is standing at the gate. You are expecting that, God, speak to me through the word, but it will be through the music. Maybe you are expecting that God speak to you through the music. It will be by the projection. So you have to have an open mind that I'm going to receive. And as I'm doing this business, I'm doing this job, I'm doing this thing, I'm having a mind. No, Einstein, Thomas Edison, he did it for 99 times. Do you know the Wright brothers? You've heard of them, those who invented the plane. Do you know that when they were doing it, when they are going to the field to go and test the thing, they carry 4 additional parts. Do you know why? But that is how many times they always crash. 4 times in a day. So when they are going, they carry additional 4 parts with them because they know that it will crash. There's chances it will crash. So they have 4 parts. Till they got to a point they could finally fly the plane flawlessly. So that's the mindset. Yeah. Okay. So you want to give your conclusions, your last words, then we can. Who will start for us? Roberta will start. Say the one you start first, or someone will say what you want to say. There's no way they are not going to say.
Alright, so at the end, I hope we all learned a lot. Myself, I've really learned a lot. And to end with, I would want to talk about something you said about culture and we coming into Christ, where culture doesn't necessarily mean the way. Okay, that is the way of life, what we used to do and other stuff. It's now a time for us to know that we need to put all those things behind us and take on the cup of God and live as Christians. And then also faith goes with work. So while you believe, you need to make an effort. You need to do something. So that's what I would like to end
That's
with.
awesome. That's awesome. Esther.
For me, I feel it has been very helpful. Like I've learned a lot from the discussions. I don't really have much to say.
Okay, so I would say that we should plant, water, and allow God to increase. But without the planting, without the watering, there will be no increase. So that's basically what I want to conclude with.
I would also say that no matter where you are planted, as long as your attitude is right and you are willing to move forward,
You can do a lot. Yes. So that's awesome. we've had these wonderful, amazing ladies. They've given us a lot of revelation in this series. We want you to keep sharing the page. We want you to like it. Remember to subscribe on Facebook. Go and look at search for our CCC Kumasi City Mall, and then like our page. And on YouTube, subscribe and click on the bell button, and then you can get notification of our application moments and all the sermon. Please invite somebody, and that is your tax. Give it to them as a gift. You never know the lives you will change. Thank you for listening to us. We'll come again next week with application moment. God bless you.
Bye.